special occasion. It's right up there in that with the biggest fixture in the Irish League. Has been over the years, and it's a big challenge for us.
And it's obviously your first Boxing Day as the Glentoran manager. Over the years, looking from a different perspective, what does Glentoran Linfield Boxing Day derbies mean to you?
Yeah, it's massive. Like again, it's one of them ones. If you're from the outside looking in, you envy it. Like you want to be involved in them games. For a one-off game, the Irish Cup final is probably the biggest game of the season, but this isn't far behind. Glentoran Linfield is one of them fixtures that everybody wants to be involved in. The crowd, the atmosphere. It's a special occasion, and we want to kind of go out there and do as well as we possibly can.
And there's a number of players in the current team at the minute that haven't played a Boxing Day derby as such. How are you going to get at them and tell them how much it means? They're
going to find out soon enough. You have to be big enough for the occasion. You can't shrink. You got to stand up. You got to be counted. This is about pride. This is about commitment for our club. Form books does go out the window slightly in that whenever you're coming into such a big game. It's all about passion. Derbies always are, and it's a team in that there that can control their emotions. Discipline's obviously key as well. We need to keep our discipline, but we want to see people fired up for this here. If I need to go in there and give a massive team talk to motivate our players to be involved in this game, then they're at the wrong club. They've got to go here and meet the challenge.
And what do Linfield, what threats do Linfield have that you're going to look to counter?
Well, obviously they're really in good form, so they are at present. We've been on a really good run of results. I tend to focus more on what we're good at, how we can hurt them, and areas where we can exploit them. They're definitely a threat. You can't get away from it. Like I say, they've been going really well this year. But we'll focus on ourselves. We'll concentrate on what we can do really well, and we'll try and do that to the best of our ability.
And we've had a run of a couple of defeats recently. Obviously the players are going to be wanting to turn that around.
Yeah,
and there's no bigger game.
Yeah, of course. The Ballymena result was bitterly disappointing because, as much as we were poor in the second half and we obviously conceded a 2-goal lead, we really lost that game in the last 5 minutes with poor decision making. It boiled down to the Ballymena game was one we very much controlled, so we did for large periods. But again, a 5-minute spell to start the second half after we were down to 10 men doesn't give us really a chance. We go 2 down in that space of time, and if we're going to have to score 2 and 3 goals every game to win games, then it's going to be difficult. We have to start keeping clean sheets, and that's a collective effort from everybody, to keep clean sheets. So if we can tighten things up and not concede, then we'll give ourselves a better chance.
And in the Ballymena game, it saw 15-year-old Ethan Warnock being the youngest Glentoran outfield player. What have you seen of Ethan since you've came in, and why did you make the decision to bring him into the team?
We could have shuffled the pack around slightly different. We could have slid Johnny Addis to left back and moved the back 4 across. We could have played Kim Nilsson in there, but Ethan Warnock has been training us for the last 2 months. Yes, he's 15, but he's far more mature than a 15-year-old in spirit in football terms. He's a level-headed boy, and he doesn't seem to get fazed by any kind of situation that he finds himself in. He was more than capable, and that's the biggest thing. Why I made the decision to play him was because in training he shows up time and time again that he's more than capable. He's a very talented boy, and he's got a very, very bright future ahead of him.
And you touched on there, he's got a bright future ahead of him. There's talks that he's going to Everton at the end of the year, so you're going to look to maybe get him a couple of more appearances before he does move off to Everton?
Yeah, absolutely. It's what a flash in the pan is. This kid's got real potential to be as good as he wants to be, but he has to keep working hard. He has to keep his head down. He's going to have to keep on improving at the rate that he's improved. To be at 15 and be at the level that he's at is hugely impressive. But he needs to keep on kicking on. The deal's done and all for Everton, so it is. I met with Paul Hamilton from Everton the other day, and he's got high hopes for Ethan, so he does. They rate him incredibly highly. They're trying to create a pathway in that there that doesn't stop him from fulfilling his potential. They're trying to clear a road for him in that there towards Everton first team. So that's how highly they rate him over there. But while he's here, and if the opportunity presents itself again, then he'll get opportunities because, like I say, he showed a level of maturity even in his play against Ballymena to suggest that he's more than comfortable playing at this level. I don't think his father would mind me saying but he sent me a text message afterwards saying how proud of a lad he is, how proud he is of Ethan and his family are, not because they're East Belfast through and through. He says it's what every young lad now in East Belfast wants to do is grow up to play for Glentoran, and he thanked me for giving the opportunity. But again, that shows you that Ethan desperately wants to play for his club. He loves this club, and that should be the case with all academy players. The academy have done fantastic work. We have more kids in Club NI than any other club, nearly double of any other club in that there in Northern Ireland. So that suggests that we're creating a good standard player. That's the work that's gone in there from David Laurie, Graham Jenkins. There's so many other guys, Michael Morrow. There's so many other guys out there who do so much with the kids, who give up so much of their time, because it is a voluntary position at the end of the day. But yeah, we're going to bear the fruits of that, and it's up to me to be brave enough to give them opportunities. We're going to have to look to homegrown talent moving forward as a club, because for too long and out there probably people have come in taking a good wage from the club and probably not giving as much as they've got, so we want people who want to play for Glentoran, who know what it means to represent this club, and that's what we're looking to do.
And with January coming around the corner, it's an opportunity for you to delve into the transfer window and sign a couple of players. If you've assessed the squad now since you've been here, is that something you're going to look to do? If
we can, absolutely. I think what people have to realise now is it's not like it was before, where you could have just signed an endless amount of players, regardless of, and you would have got yourself in a bad position financially, just trying to overcommit and put yourself in a bad position. What they have now in place is a wage cap. So at the minute we're at the top end of a wage cap, so in order for us to bring ones in, we've got to let ones go. So we do. That's the way it has to work. That's the only way you can sort of manoeuvre really in January, especially. You've also got the situation where a lot of better players at certain clubs and that are under contract and they're on pro contracts, and they'll certainly not let them walk away for free. So January's a really difficult month in that, in terms of what you can and can't do. You're very much curtailed to going after players that other clubs don't really want, or trying to buy in players, but again with their wages will take us over wage caps and stuff, so it is difficult, but we'll work very, very hard to identify areas where we want to improve. We'll work hard out there to bring in the best calibre of player we possibly can to this club, and again, like I say, we will never stop looking at the academy kids and giving them opportunities as well.
And finally, a couple of boys still in the treatment table at the minute. How's the progress there getting on?
We're probably only really down to Scully and Wally, who are a bit more longer term. Scully had his operation. I have to thank the Ballymac Club and that there for coming up with money for that as well. It was a great gesture from them and that there to help with Scully's situation. David Scullion's been playing hurt for the last 2 years. He's needed an operation for the last 18 months, but he continued to play away with it, so he has, till it got to the point to start this season where he just couldn't handle it anymore. The pain was getting too severe. So he's had his operation, so he has, and he's on the road to recovery. He's working very, very hard in the gym to get himself back. Willie the same. Willie obviously has had a frustrating last couple of years for him, since he'd done the cruciate the first time. He's now going to see himself out for another 8 to 9 months, but again he's looking after his rehab. He's trying to do everything he possibly can. Marcus Kane's back training, so he is, which has been brilliant, obviously, because he's been a bit of a non-entity since the start of the season. He's only played a couple of games, but he's such a big player for us, so hopefully Moko's out there training now, and hopefully that's the start of his, he should be available pretty soon.